Thinking about buying a manufactured home? Hold that thought. Hey, Jose here, your SoCal Realtor. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, don't hesitate to reach out. My team and I, we are here ready to help you with your real estate needs. Again, though, if you are thinking about buying a manufactured home, here are 6 things that you do want to be aware of. Before we do dive into this, though, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page here, because I've had a number of people that have they've confused the difference between a manufactured home and a mobile home. Listen, both are great options for the right person, but there are differences. There's actually a few smaller differences between the two, but probably the biggest difference to look for is whether or not the land that the home sits on, is it leased or is it owned? Because see, with mobile homes, they're generally going to be in a mobile home park where you lease the space that your home sits on from the park. But with manufactured homes, you're typically going to own the land that your home sits on. Sort of like a traditional single-family home. But because mobile homes are, well, mobile, at least that's what they're intended to be, is mobile anyway. I guess kind of like a car, right?
Just zoom along.
But because they are mobile, your traditional mortgage lender, they're not going to be able to loan you the money to make a purchase for a mobile home. What you need to do is you need to go through a specialized mobile home lender in order to make that purchase. But with a manufactured home, yeah, that's not the case. You don't need a specialized lender for that. There are a few requirements, but in many cases, a manufactured home is able to be financed by a traditional home lender. Now, manufactured homes are in most cases, they're going to be more affordable than your standard single-family home. Maybe even a little more affordable than a condo or a townhome. However, manufactured homes, they are going to cost more. In most cases anyway, they are going to cost more than a mobile home. Even though they might look very similar to each other, a lot of similarities. But the big difference, again, over here with the manufactured home, you're going to own the land too. In other words, you're not just paying for the home, you're paying for the land too. The beauty of it all, though, is with a manufactured home, you don't just own the home, you own the land too, the property that your home sits on, the front yard, the backyard, all. You own the property also, very, very similar to a traditional single-family home, but for a lot less. This next one, we've actually already said this, and that is with a manufactured home. And this may not necessarily be true 100% of the time, but in most cases, again, like I just said, the land is yours, the front yard, the backyard, the land that your home literally sits on, all of that land is yours. And there's a couple benefits to that. First of all, if you don't own the land, well, then you lease it. Again, like we just said, that's the case for mobile homes. And from what I'm seeing these days, most mobile home park leases, they typically start at like $1,000 a month. They can go up from there depending on the mobile home park itself. And the part that most people don't talk about when it comes to mobile home parks, those space leases, they usually go up every few years.
Wait, what did you say?
But when you own the land rather than lease it, and your mortgage rate, it's a fixed rate as opposed to an adjustable rate, then your monthly payment doesn't go up, doesn't change. I mean, again, you're not leasing anything. Not only do you own the home, you own the land that your home is sitting on too. And now, besides not having to worry about leases going up every month, but besides that, another benefit to owning the land is property value. Remember I said just a minute ago that manufactured homes typically cost more than mobile homes? Well, the reason for that is simply just, you're not buying just simply the home, you're buying the home and the land that your home is sitting on. And what has historically gone up over time? The value of land. You may have heard this one already before, but land, they're just not making any more of it. It is a limited product. This is why at least in most cases anyway, this is why a manufactured home will usually cost more to purchase than a mobile home. And that is because it's not just the value of the home that's going up over time, it's the value of the land too. Here's a bonus thing to the whole owning your land versus renting a space in a mobile home park. When you're in a mobile home park, you're in some ways you're actually similar to an apartment, meaning you're held to the rules of the mobile home park. Are you thinking about painting your mobile home? You probably better clear that through the mobile home park first. If you have visitors that are coming over, for most parks, you better have them park in visitor parking and not in front of your mobile home, or there's a chance they could get towed away. If you're thinking about changing the plants in front of your mobile home, there are some parks that make you get clearance to confirm what plants or what it is that you're putting in front of your mobile home. Are you needing to store stuff out on the driveway? Whether it's maybe, I don't know, a couch or boxes, even if it's just for a few days, you may need to get clearance from the mobile home park in order to do that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, nobody wants a neighbor that has a big pile of junk out on their property. But again, even if you're just setting it out there for a couple days, for whatever reason, again, mobile home parks have rules. And if you want to live there, you got to follow their rules. But with a manufactured home, you own the land. You don't have that issue. There's another thing that many people don't always realize. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're going to purchase a mobile home, you do have to get specialized financing for that. You have to get it from a mobile home lender in order to be able to make the purchase of the mobile home. And with a manufactured home, like I said, you don't have that issue. Okay, well, maybe better put is you usually don't have that issue. There are a couple things that do come into play here for the financing of a manufactured home, such as the manufactured home. It must have been built in either 1976 or newer. And the second thing is it must be on a permanent foundation. As long as the home meets those two requirements, then you shouldn't have any issues getting standard financing for your manufactured home. What's the big deal with that though? A couple things actually. First of all, mobile home loans, they do tend to have a higher down payment requirement, meaning most mobile home loans will require you to put at least 10% down for the down payment, whereas for standard financing for a home or a manufactured home, you can go as far down as 3.5% for the down payment. The other thing is the interest rate, because generally speaking, for a mobile home loan, those are usually going to be higher too. But with a manufactured home, and again, as long as it meets the requirements I was just talking about a moment ago, then it qualifies for the same type of financing that you get for a single family home, a condo, townhome, meaning the bottom line, meaning lower down payment and lower interest rate. Well, usually lower interest rate. And if you're a first-time home buyer, you might even be able to use some of the down payment assistance programs that are out there in order to help you with purchasing your manufactured home, something that isn't available with the purchase of a mobile home. Now, back in 1976, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, they issued a national standard designed to be able to improve on the safety, the design, as well as the durability of manufactured homes. This is why, if you remember earlier, I was saying in order to qualify for standard financing, the manufactured home, it cannot have been built any older than 1976. These HUD requirements, they include things like the types of materials that they're allowed to use when they build a manufactured home, to the insulation requirements for the home, to the energy efficiency for the home. Bottom line though is these requirements, they're designed to help you be able to go into buying a manufactured home confidently, knowing that that home was built being held to a certain standard.
Easy peasy.
Of course, with a manufactured home, there's a ton of things that you can do to your home, such as you can upgrade your kitchen, you can upgrade the flooring in the home, you can paint the inside, you can paint the outside. And if you're buying a newly built manufactured home, just as with a single family new construction home, well, with a newly built manufactured home, there's actually quite a few upgrades that are available for you to be able to have with the construction of your manufactured home. Now, another one that we actually kind of skimmed the surface a little bit on this one, and that is the resale value for a manufactured home. It really isn't too bad. Now, if we're comparing it to like a single family home or even a condo or a townhome, then no, I would say this resale value, it is not going to be the same. It is definitely not the same. And the reason for that is just with manufactured homes, they do have a stigmatism that comes with them. I mean, you can't deny, obviously, when you look at a manufactured home, they do resemble a mobile home. The stigmatism. Supply and demand will always dictate the speed as well as the price that a home ultimately ends up selling for. And just, if we're being honest, the demand for a manufactured home, it's not as high as it is for a single family home, for a townhome, for a condo. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, not at all. It's just not as high. And that's why the values for manufactured homes, they do go up, just not at the same rate that you see for single family homes, condos, and townhomes. Interestingly enough though, with the rising home prices that we have seen over the last few years, the demand for manufacturing homes, that's gone up. And that's what's actually helped push the values, the prices for manufacturing homes up a little bit faster, at a faster rate than we have seen in the past. Will that continue? I mean, it's hard to say for sure. The market can always make changes at some point. So while manufactured homes, they do present an easier entry point for many home buyers due to the lower purchase price, they don't appreciate in value as much, or not to say that they don't appreciate in value, that couldn't be any further from the truth. They just don't appreciate in value as much, or maybe I should say as quickly as, again, a single family home or even a condo or a townhome. However, when you compare them to mobile homes, that's a totally different story because manufactured homes, they definitely appreciate more in value. Of course, though, if you do have any questions at all, or if maybe you are thinking about buying or selling a home herein or just anywhere near the Inland Empire, my contact information is below. Feel free to reach out. Otherwise, until then, catch you on the next one.